Hello, guys. Welcome back to another predictions show. I'm your host, Fahmy, and today's guest is Adnan. Adnan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
So, today we're going to do the usual predictions for this weekend and this game week. Let's start off with West Ham taking on Chelsea. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I think this game is a very tough game for both teams. And West Ham are escaping relegation. I think they have started playing well. They drew against Newcastle and they have started picking up results. And Chelsea are not on their best yet, but I think this game, Joe Felix is back. And Enzo Fernandez played well. Their chemistry is kind of coming back, but I think their front is they are not scoring enough goals. I think their defense and midfield is good, but their front with the likes of Havertz, Mount, I think they are not scoring goals, so that's why they're struggling. So this game is a tough one. So I will go for a Chelsea win, but I just a very narrow Chelsea win. Chelsea 2-1 win.
Okay, we move on to the next game. The leaders, Arsenal, take on Brentford. Arsenal will need to bounce back from their last loss against Everton. What do you think about this game?
And are Arsenal at home?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Arsenal have to bounce back. I think the way Manchester United and Manchester City, I think Manchester City was their biggest competition, and they have missed their chance against Tottenham, and they have to gain points against Brentford. Brentford is not an easy team. It's not a team that you can outplay easily. So it will be a very tough game for Arsenal, another challenging game for Arsenal, but I expect Arsenal to win this one. So I will go for an Arsenal win. 2-0 Arsenal.
Okay, we move on to the next game. A tough one. Crystal Palace take on Brighton. Brighton, of course, are on form. Crystal Palace, Crystal Palace form has been shaky, but what do you think about this game?
Yeah, Crystal Palace versus Brighton. I think Brighton look the favorites, but with Crystal Palace, you never know. This game they perform very well. The other game they don't perform as well. So this Crystal Palace team is very unpredictable. So I'm going with a Brighton win. The way Brighton are playing, I like watching their games. I'm not a Brighton supporter, but sometimes with the likes of Mitoma, McAllister, those players, they are very quality players. So I will go for a Brighton win. Brighton 3-1 win.
Okay, we move on to the next game. Fulham take on Nottingham Forest. Fulham have been amazing so far this season. Nottingham Forest are bouncing back. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, and Fulham this season have been outstanding. I think the way they played against Chelsea, I think Chelsea with all their new players, they played very well. I was very impressed the way William and Pereira were playing, and also holding in the midfield. With also Reed. So I'm expecting Nottingham Forest. I think their midfield and their defense are very good, but they are not scored enough goals. I think that's where they are lacking. And Fulham have the scoring machine in Mitrovic. So I'm expecting Fulham to win this one. So I'll go for Fulham win. Fulham 1-0 win.
Okay, we move on to the next game. Leicester take on Spurs. Of course, last game week, Leicester won 4-2 against Aston Villa, and Spurs disappointed Man City. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, Leicester versus Spurs is it's another game. I think all the teams that are escaping relegation is a very tough game to go. So it's another a very tough game for Spurs. I think Leicester don't want to be caught up by the relegation teams. I think they have just narrowly escaped the relegation. So I'm expecting Leicester to play well and to perform really well. So this game I will go for. Although Spurs are on a high, they won against Man City. They were playing well. The game is real good this day. But I don't think their game they played the tactics against Man City will work against Man City because also Leicester City. I think Leicester City are also a defending team and they also do the counter. So I'm expecting a disappointing one for Tottenham. I will go for a Leicester win, 2-1 Leicester.
Okay, we move on to the next game. Southampton take on Wolves. Wolves have been fantastic as well. Their results haven't gone their way, but Southampton is a team that is struggling right now. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, Wolves have an outstanding defense. I think their defense is one of the best in the Premier League. And Southampton, I think this season have been very disappointing. I think they are not getting the point. I think they are playing well, but they are not getting the points. And for this game, I'm expecting a Wolves win, a Wolves 2-0 win.
We move on to Bournemouth taking on Newcastle. Newcastle have been having so many draws this season. And Bournemouth, yeah, do you think this is going to be another draw for Newcastle?
And although Newcastle, I think, are very impressive this season. I think they're slacking behind. I think they're losing so many points with so many draws, but they are also having so many clean sheets. I think to score against them is really hard. So I'm expecting for them to win against Bournemouth. So I'll go for an easy Newcastle win, 3-1 Newcastle win.
Okay, move on to Sunday. Leeds taking on Man United. You guys have played Leeds before, and they had a 2-0 win. They had a 2-0 lead at first, and then you guys came back. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, this game is a very tough game for us as we are going to their home now. I think they played tactically, they played really well against us at Old Trafford. I think the first minutes of every half, they scored a goal, and I think their midfield with McKennie and Adams, I think they are too good in the midfield. They were outperforming our midfield. But because we are missing Casemiro, I think that will be a very we miss him that much that every team outplays us in the midfield without him. So this game I actually expecting a really tough game because they have the new manager bounce. I think they want to win. They saw the results at Old Trafford. If they picked a point at Old Trafford, they can pick all three at their home. So I'm expecting a very tough one, but I will have confidence in my United, so I'll go with a very narrow. I think it will be a high scoring game. I'll go for a 3-2 game.
Okay, we move on to the second game for Sunday. Man City taking on Aston Villa. Aston Villa lost their last game, same as Man City. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, this game I think Man City have to bounce back. I think Man City have been slacking. I think with all the acquisitions, I think the financial fair play, I think that will affect them mentally. But I think they will overcome Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa were in a very impressive run under Unai Emery. But I think the honeymoon for the new manager bounce is over. So I think they will lose to Man City. So I'll go for an easy Man City 3-0, 4-0.
Okay, we move on to Monday. There is a derby. Liverpool take on Everton. This is a big game. Who do you think will come out on top? Liverpool, of course, they're struggling in form. Everton have coming from a big win against Arsenal. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, and Liverpool against Everton, it will be a massive game. One of the, I think, exciting derbies because I think the way they played against Arsenal and they won against Arsenal, they are very confident. I think they will play really well, and Liverpool are not on their best form. And Sean Dyche, I think his tactics, I think, will outplay Klopp's because I think his tactic of defending and hitting on the counter with the midfield of Onana, Dokore, and Idris Gana Gay will be too powerful for them. So I'm expecting a very tight game, but I will go for another 1-0 win to Everton.
Okay, we move on to another big game that will happen next week. Arsenal take on Man City. A big game for especially the title. Arsenal will be after the game against Brentford and same as Man City. It will be a season-defining game, as I can see. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, this game it's a very tough game. I think this game every team is expecting to win. I think the pressure is on Manchester City more than Arsenal because Arsenal will go like 11 points clear if they win or 8 points clear. And Man City, I think this season they have not been playing as Man City used to play last season. They are not swiping teams away like 4 or 5 goals. And the way Arsenal are playing, I think they will bring a big challenge for Man City. But this game, I'm fully expecting a disappointing one. I'll go. This game, I'm expecting a very high anticipated and I'm very disappointed. I'll go for a draw this game. I'm just seeing that this game, every team has high expectation and every team will perform well. So and the game will end like a draw, a 1-1 2-2.
Okay, I think that's it for the predictions. Before we end, let's do something on fantasy, in the fantasy Premier League as well. If you had your top three picks for this weekend's games, which one would you suggest?
And for this week, I think because Man City and Arsenal have, I think, double game week, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that will be a tough. This game, I think, because the way the scoring run for Marcus Rashford, I had Rashford as the captain last week, and he gave me like 30 something points, at 6 points. And for this game, I will pick 4 because Haaland has not been doing that well, and I think I'm expecting him to do really well against Aston Villa, to score like 2 goals against Aston Villa, at least 1 goal against Arsenal. So I'm going for Haaland as my first choice. Then I will go for Rashford, and the third pick I will go for maybe Mitoma for Brighton.
Same. I would add only Saka because, of course, most of the fantasy, most teams that are playing 2 games is Man City and Arsenal. So it's better you have
Yeah,
Man City player and one Arsenal player. It's much easier for you.
yeah.
I think that's it. Thanks for your time. Like, share, follow, subscribe for more. And I'm your host, Fahmy. That's Adnan. See you next time.